When it comes to Carno, I think most of us can agree that there is an incredibly delicate balance that must be struck in its overall power. At this point, we've seen both sides of the coin. On Live Branch currently, Carnos are quite rare. Carno itself has been in a rough place, and numbers have stabilized on the lower end of normal, as the beefier, more agile cerato has taken its place as the dominant land carnivore. Carno in the Horde test, though, is interesting. Downsized a bit to match Cerato's weight, but with changes to speed, overall damage output, and the addition of a charge that doesn't take as much stamina, and can be activated multiple times in a row with no recourse, has turned Carno into quite the small prey hunter. Having stepped into the shoes of the prey previously, I decided it was time to see the world from the Carno's perspective. Finding food in the Horde test is a bit difficult at times when you're first starting out. After racing from West Access to West Rail, I found myself on the verge of starvation when I spotted a small herd of baby deer on the beach. Those would get me started, and hopefully give me a bit of time to heal from my frail state. The nice thing about West Rail Beach, though, is that there are turtles there. And where there's turtles, there's dilos seeking their line diet. The Dilo didn't stand much of a chance. After all, what can you honestly do in the face of an oncoming freight train that can stop and adjust its path at the drop of a hat? With my prize in tow, I swam to the shore, and the server crashed. Not unusual. Horde test is, after all, a testing phase to work out the bugs. Unfortunately, that meant I was still without my line diet. Utilizing deer and boars to maintain my diet and keep my stomach high enough to not starve, I made my way south in hopes of scavenging something. The change in how spawns work has slowed down the traffic in the area, which is ideal, but does make scavenging a bit more difficult. Regardless, I heard something behind me. Ah, a dibble, fresh out of the sanctuary. I had grown a bit in my travels from West Rail up to South. As long as the dibble was still small enough that I could charge, this wouldn't be too bad. Oh yeah, he was within charge range. And then it happened. The dibble got a growth tick, and was quite suddenly too big for me to charge anymore. I decided to test once more, just to be sure, and yep, too big. I would have to switch to bites to finish this. Alright, perfect diet, here we come. Having healed up and made my way to West Access again, my diets were getting low, and honestly, when it came to getting lines, Dilo was the best option. I knew they often spawned up here, and I figured it would be worth a shot. Two of them. One on the verge of adulthood, the other simply an adolescent. I opted to target the more dangerous of the two. Better to take out the bigger threat, right? A fresh spawn Carno attempted to join the fight as well. When the larger Dilo went down and the smaller one fled, I returned to my meal. The fresh spawn Carno kept on the smaller Dilo, and unfortunately for him, didn't survive the encounter. Of course, sometimes people don't seem to accept when they've been beaten. And I'll admit, sometimes I fall into this category. The smaller Dilo returned to attempt to fight me once more. And I sent him packing, before finally settling into my meal. As I was filling my water and preparing to head out, I heard something moving toward me. An adult Dilo. Oh, and then two more. Crap. Time to get the heck out of here. And fast. I'm still only a large juvenile. Haven't even hit my second mutation yet. And there's no way I can fight 3 adult Dilos at my size. My only option is to run and hope that I have enough speed and stamina to escape them. Onto the path to West Rail and away. Home free. Healed up and continuing to grow, I moved to South Plains for a short time. I had heard other Carnos there, but also heard Carnos forecalling a lot. Those two things together warned me that the Carnos very well might be cannibals. Regardless, I kept a low profile. At least until I heard a small galley running in my direction. The galley's screaming drew the attention of another Carno, and when he came running in my direction, I could only hope for a moment that he wanted the galley. Nope, I was definitely his target. What do you do when you're being chased by something faster than you that can simply spam their charge to both catch up and do more damage? The only thing you can. Weave through the trees and rocks and hope, once again, that you have enough stamina and health to outlast the pursuer. Talk about a high-speed chase. I hit the canyon at full charging sprint and kept running, even after I couldn't hear him chasing me anymore. Then decided to cross for good measure. Did I have the stamina for a crossing? No, but neither would he. I burst out of the water on the other side, exhausted, injured, but safe. Back to West Rail. My lines were incredibly low now. Deer and a fallen raptor corpse had kept me going while I healed and regained my stamina, but my line diet was on the verge of vanishing. I needed to make my way back to West Access. I doubted that the dilos from before were still there, but I'd had good luck before, and now I was bigger. I didn't even get to the beach before I spotted exactly what I was seeking. A dilo. Full grown and delicious. Poor guy. Been there, buddy. He honestly didn't stand a chance. The rain fell harder, and I trotted out to survey my current territory. Passing by a cerato in the downpour, however, I had a decision to make. I was not fully grown, but I was getting close. And if I'm being honest, I wanted to see what level of ridiculous I could get up to as a Carno. The rain stopped just at the right time. Now I could see and hear. The cerato attempted to flee, and I knew the fight was won. However, there was imminent danger. My blood was draining incredibly fast, and raptors that I could not see were screaming at me from nearby bushes. I could attempt to fight for my kill, or I could simply show submission and back off. I chose to back off. I was on the verge of bleeding out. My Carno's heartbeat became audible. But I survived. Of course, there weren't many organs remaining in my cerato, but I got a lung, and the dilo I'd killed previously was still edible. My travels searching for something to refill my final diet led me down to water access, and back. All I'd found was a couple of small deer, and my lines were getting low as well. In the distance, I spotted an adult dibble. But I wasn't going to give that sucker a go. Too dangerous. Oh, but it was being stalked by a cerato. At least that's what I thought. As the dibble appeared to wander further away, the cerato and I sized each other up, and then charged. Ah, I see. Mix packing. Not stalking. Cool. The dibble added an extra layer of panic to the fight on my end. One wrong move and I'd be flat on the ground and made into mincemeat. The dibble, of course, played like he didn't care one way or another, laying down when the fight moved further away, but then getting up and charging in as he saw what he thought were openings. I'm not really sure what I thought would happen. Of course the dibble was going to bodyguard. What better things do herbivores have to do? Especially when they fail to protect their carnivore buddies. I decided to act nonchalant about the situation. I needed water anyway, and I wouldn't be able to eat until my vomit sickness passed. When I returned, he was still there. How annoying. Likely waiting for his cerato to respawn and run back here to get the organs from his own body. Well, if that was the case, I'd kill him again just for good measure. But until then, I needed to scavenge something to eat. I had just hit full grown after all. I came across a pair of dead troodons. Not much, but a start. Of course, there's a reason everyone hates stegos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new around here, maybe consider subscribing for more content just like this. Also, check it out. I've got merch available now if you want to support the channel that way. Hope to see you again real soon.